Algarve, Portugal. I'm actually here on a week-long holiday with my girlfriend. So relaxation is the ultimate goal. But I can't resist getting a few images while I'm here. 5:08 in the morning, which means it is definitely still summertime. It's a brutal time of year to shoot. I just also realized it's kind of freaky. There's a cat just sitting outside my door, and I just looked over and just saw him looking up at me, just sitting there. It was kind of freaky, actually. And it's dark out, so it definitely adds to that. We just got to a place called Lagos, which is about 45-minute drive from where we're staying. And it's a very iconic location. I haven't been here before to this whole Algarve region, period. And usually I scout locations, but I'm completely winging it this time. So I'm just gonna walk down. It's kind of, you take some steps down to this kind of little bay area. And according to photo pills, the sun should be rising in our direction. So we'll see what we get. And hopefully I can find a cool composition. So let's go check it out. Yeah, so we're at our sunrise location, and it's actually pretty cool. I'm not sure if you can see this. It's still kind of dark. It's blue hour now, and sunrise should be in about 15 minutes or so. And I'm just taking a series of shots up here from a higher vantage point. I'm actually bracketing at the moment as well. I've taken a shot, darker exposure for the sky. I'm in bulb mode at the moment too. I'm using my remote. And I'm shooting about 2 minutes for the shadow areas because it's quite dark. And I'm shooting between 45 seconds and a minute for the water at the moment as well. Just kind of playing around. And the light is changing every minute, so just keep changing my settings. And I think I have a cool composition. And so anyway, I'm gonna take a couple more shots, long exposures at the moment. As I said, I'm doing brackets, manual brackets, and I'm gonna go check out some compositions a little closer to the rail to see if I can get like a foreground interest. It's getting pretty bright pretty fast. There's a little bit of color in the sky at the moment, or starting to appear anyway. Just put an ND filter on 6-stop, just to keep that long exposure look and not blow out the water. Like I said, the conditions are changing really fast, so it's just really trying to adapt every minute to what's happening. I still haven't ran down there yet, but I'm gonna go try to find a composition now. For this image, I used a focal length of 24 millimeters. My settings were ISO 100, f11, and a 1-minute exposure. Having the shutter open for 1 minute allowed me to not only have all information present in the highlights and the shadows, but also smoothed out the water. This was very important to me as I knew that there would be a lack of interest in the sky, and by doing this, I could add just a little bit of extra interest into the scene. All right, so we're not the only ones here this morning. People are starting to pile in now. I finally made my way down to this foreground area, and let me show you the shot that I have. So as you can see, I have the railing for the foreground here. Just will add some extra depth into the scene. I'm gonna shoot about f11, just see if I need the focus stack, because I am kind of close to the rail. I'm also hoping to get a sun star at some point here. So I'm just gonna experiment and shoot, but definitely sticking about f11 to f13 for the aperture. The shutter's gonna bounce around just depending, and I have my ND on, so gonna get some long exposures as well. And there's not too much color in the sky, unfortunately, so blue skies all day, every day. It's tough to shoot in these conditions. So it looks like in about 5 to 10 minutes, we're gonna have some light come over on top of that cliff. So we should get a little sun star. And it would be great to get some side light coming in through this cove. Definitely would add some interest to the scene. As I said before, the sky is nothing special, but you know, you can't have everything. So, but yeah, some side light would be fantastic. I have a long exposure for the water. Again, I'm just taking multiple shots. I'm shooting anywhere from 1 to 6 seconds. The ND is still on. Really, as I said, I'm just kind of going for that sun star at the moment. So while I'm waiting for the sun to actually come into the cove, I'm just kind of shooting for the sky at the moment, just some darker exposure so that my highlights are not blown out. We have some guests in the cove here. Yeah, as I said, I'm just kind of shooting for the highlights at the moment, just make sure that they're not blown out. Just want to make sure I have all the information when I get back, because I'm definitely going to be merging multiple shots. I'll definitely have one for the sky, hopefully one for the sun star, and the foreground and the water. I'm actually shooting at f13 and I'm able to get everything in focus, so I don't need the focus stack on this, which is going to make things a lot easier for post-processing. And finally, the moment I was waiting for. This vertical image was taken at 16 millimeters and consisted of 14 images. The settings for my base image were ISO 100, f13, and 1/320th of a second. This captured pretty much the full dynamic range, only the sun had minor clipping. However, using a shutter speed of 1/320th required me to take an additional set of images just for the water, as I wanted smooth water in this image as well. At this point in the morning, I could not take a long 30-second to 1-minute exposure, even with a 6-stop ND, without blowing out the highlights in the water. So I took a series of 12 images at 5 seconds each and merged them together in Photoshop. Finally, I also took one shot just for the sun star with an aperture of f22, as f18 to f22 on my lens provides a beautiful sun star. Anyway, just a quick update. We just did our sunrise mission, and I don't think it was anything super special, but then again, you never know until you actually get home and you upload everything, and sometimes, you know, you shock yourself. So the blue skies I knew were going to be a problem, and they're definitely out and about all day, every day. But I don't know, we'll see what happens. Anyway, it was really good to get out and shoot. It's been a few weeks for me, so just getting my equipment out. That's my favorite part of photography. It's not the post-processing, it's the actual chasing the light, chasing the scene, the composition, or finding a composition, and just using your equipment, you know, the settings and your filters and just all that stuff. Like, that's the fun part. So just to go out and do that this morning was fun. So maybe we'll have another sunrise over the next couple days, and yeah, maybe I'll go home with a shot too. So anyway, update you guys later.